got to read, though.
Yeah, we got some hot takes from you guys I can't wait to see the panel react to. Before we do that, we have to remind everybody that FanDuel is the official sports book of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. You guys know I love sports. I love them so much that I never want them to stop. But as the summer winds down, we get fewer and fewer games, and the sports just aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball and the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. So yesterday was the first official day of training camp for the Browns. So we put out a tweet, we put out a YouTube community tab asking you guys to send us your hottest takes or opinions for the upcoming season. And we'd react to some of them on the show. And we got 5 or 6 that I picked out that I feel like are worthy of your guys' immediate reaction. So we'll spend a minute or two on each of these. And the first comes from our guy. It's not the first one, Steve. Way to fire without taking it. But this is from Eddie. The first one wasn't in a tweet. First one comes from Eddie, though. No, we're not going to do it now. Bring it back up. Bring it back up. Pull it back
No, bring it too late.
Pull it
It's too
back
late.
up. First one comes. Yeah, I'll tell that there. The first one comes from Eddie. Cedric Tillman overtakes Jerry Jeudy as wide receiver 2.
Man,
What say you guys?
if that happens, it's gonna be some furniture moving.
So Tyvis, you know how
that can't happen. That just can't happen.
you do know,
That's bad.
like when people say like you've been in the NFL and you know what it is to actually get a fair shot at something. Cedric Tillman won't even get a fair shot at that.
Yeah, no, that's
like
not gonna happen.
like GMs and coaches be like the GM would be like, we just gave him this money. He's like, I know, coach. We got to get him some plays. We're gonna make this one right because that basically tells me you missed.
Yeah, and you paid him.
And you paid him. You missed if Cedric Tillman had been on that roster. You could have just kept Cedric Tillman if you thought he was that good.
No, you didn't even have to pay Jeudy this year. You could have gave that money. You could have delegated that money to JOK or Martin Emerson or something like that.
Somebody.
And it goes back to the point where it will prove the theory that you never pay somebody before they take a snap for you.
So he's not going to get a fair shot. He's never going to get no number 2
that's not
reps.
going to happen. Yeah.
He's not even going to be over there.
That's not going to happen.
Here's what G wanted you to do. I agree with everything Tyvis and G. Bush just said, right? If Jerry Jeudy is overtaken by Cedric Tillman as the number 2 wide receiver, then that looks bad on a lot of people. However, I have heard from people who covers the Cleveland Browns more closer than we do that Cedric Tillman is actually in line to get a lot of outside reps at wide receiver this year. So something for you all to be on the lookout for. And I think that makes sense, right? Andrew Berry needs to see if this dude can be an outside wide receiver, whether it be the 1 or the 2. So I don't think he's going to overtake Jerry Jeudy, but I can guarantee you like 99.8%. I got to save myself that 0.2. But he's going to get a lot of reps starting the ramp up of training camp as an outside wide receiver. Just watch.
I mean, you could play.
That's by default. If you're going off of 3 wide receivers, it's going to be Coop, Jeudy, and then him because you don't really put Elijah Moore outside.
And I mean, I don't know that many. Well, they starting to move big guys in the slot more, but maybe he don't have the. Put it to you like this: let's stop playing games.
It ain't happening.
He not. There's no either Jerry Jeudy got hurt.
We'll sink this season before he wide receiver. So I'm just telling you, that's not happening.
They're not even gonna let you get that off.
That's not happening.
I just hope my man come back. I hope he spent not come back. Let me take that back. I hope he spent the offseason with Amari Cooper. I thought it's Cedric Tillman.
Oh, okay.
I thought as big as Achilles' heel was route running last year, and I think that if he can get that part together, I think the Browns might have something. He's big, he's physical, he can catch the football, and he can block. He showed all those things as positives when he got the opportunity to play last year.
That's why they traded DPJ.
As big as Achilles' heel is, he can't run routes. You know what I mean? And if he develops as a route runner, it'll be interesting. And again, I just think there's so many ifs and unwritten variables that goes into whether Amari will be back next year or not, man. Because me personally, it's trying to keep training camp really, I keep saying Mike Woods, man. It's something about Mike Woods.
They like Mike Woods.
Like it's something about him. And then for Thrash to start up as high on the depth chart as he's starting off as a rookie, I think Mike, you could pull up the depth chart, but he's higher on the depth chart than a guy like Mike Woods, a guy like, for a rookie, I think he's the
6th on the depth chart right now.
He's 6 on the depth chart.
So he running with the team.
When we did this a couple of weeks ago, I seen him. He was ranked like the second slot receiver or something like that.
Speaking of number 2, let's go to the second list.
So this is what I was going to do as the first one. Now is the second one. This comes from Alec McCauley. Now, we don't have he's DM'd this to me, so we're not going to put it on screen because I can't put a DM through Social News Desk. But he says, JOK is obviously linebacker 1. But by the end of the season, rookie Nathaniel Watson will be the number 2 linebacker on the Browns.
The Browns would so love for that to happen.
Yeah.
They would love, because then they'd be like, oh, I'm a genius. I told you.
Right.
Told you so.
He got a pedigree, though.
That take ain't that hot to me.
Nah.
It's not that spicy.
Gonna be
Problem is Jordan Hicks brings veteran presence. He's veteran leader. He's like a coach on the field. Yeah. So if that happens,
he got hurt.
Either he got hurt or JOK has become like the new coach on the field to where they don't need Jordan Hicks out there. Or Nathaniel Watson is just good at just calling plays and stuff. But it's a thing that comes with the mic. Like, you got to have the loudest voice. You got to make sure everybody's in the right position. That's a lot to put on a rookie.
And you got to hold people accountable. And you got to know how to talk to people. Like, you got to be a cheerleader.
Like when I played for the Niners, I think Fred started at Mike as a rookie. Fred was the loudest dude, but it was something about Fred that you knew that he was just different. Like, Fred was on top of his stuff. Fred knew everything.
All the calls.
Fred made all the calls. He made sure everybody was lined up. And this was as a rookie he did this. And he was just fearless. So if Nathaniel Watson is like that, then all right, let's roll.
You know who I think go shock a lot of people?
Devin Bush.
My man, Devin Bush. Listen,
that's my cousin.
Listen.
I told y'all what it was going to be. I couldn't mention him because he played for the Steelers for such a long time, but we really family.
He's a Wolverine.
Like, I know he was 2 things. He was a Steeler and a Wolverine. Like, it was crazy. Like, so I couldn't mention him.
I can hear Steve right now. Go Blue.
I just think if he's healthy, I mean, that speed is unmatched, that sideline to sideline speed. He's a linebacker that can actually cover a tight end. He got some thump in his game. And he's somebody that, can wear that green dot as well. He's somebody else that can learn from Jordan Hicks. So I'm looking for Devin Bush playing a Jim Short system to have a really, really good year.
My only thing with him, I'm going to make it quick, Mike. My only thing with Devin Bush is that he's such a run stopper that I worry about him in the passing game. That's the part that
he might be a 2-down backer. He might be a 2-down.
Like because I played with him. My boy Reuben Foster. Shout out my boy Rube. He in the run game, you ain't got to worry about coming up and getting no gap. He going to run straight through the gap. But in the passing, that boy will leave you hanging. So if he got to get a nice balance.
What's up, McNuggets? Number 3?
Number 3, and this one comes from Cleveland Curses. Steve, let's take Social News Desk here. Cleveland Curses says, Ronnie Hickman year 2 leap makes us question if we should trade Juan Thornhill.
Oh, well, we love that.
I've been on that for since day one. Like, when you talk about Ronnie Hickman, like he came in, he knew his plays. See, and you could say about Tyrus at Ohio State, they play very. I'll give it to them. I don't want to hype them up too much.
Go Bucks.
They play pro style in the back end. They communicate. They run a lot of different things. Them in Alabama is a nice little professional outfit back there. When you leave Ohio State, they all the plays. They're like, oh my gosh, he just knows our defense. Yeah, I'll give it to him. Ronnie Hickman as a rookie, when you take a look at his PFF grades, he's rated one of the highest safeties in the game. Like, and I'm like, makes tackles. He's rangy. I like his playmaking ability. Like I said, I like my safeties not to just be in their gap, in their position. I need ball hawks. I need guys being around the rock. And Juan Thornhill, we gonna give you a reprieve this year, Juan. I didn't see it.
I
didn't see it last year. I didn't see it. I needed Kansas City Thornhill. I need that Kansas City big play. That bourbon sauce. That sweet baby Ray's. I didn't see none of this dry rub. I didn't see none of that good barbecue cooking that you were supposed to bring here. We got another year to see.
I think when you look at that safety position, as you look around the NFL, right, the safety position is starting to be devalued a lot. And
you like my rib scheme? You like my barbecue scheme? They love the barbecue scheme. It's crazy.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Knowing how devalued the safety position has becoming, you're right. We gave Juan Thornhill a bag, and we really didn't see return on investment. I think this is another situation that Andrew Berea is looking at. I got two young dogs that play safety, and Ronnie Hickman and DeAnthony Bell, that I'm not paying a lot of money to. Let me see if I can get the veterans like Rodney McLeod and Juan Thornhill, you know what I'm saying, to kind of be teachers for just one more year. And if I can move on from Thornhill, I got two dogs at safeties that I don't have to pay that much money, along with Grant Delpit. I keep forgetting about Grant Delpit. And he got paid. And so it's like, to see the Browns, for Hickman or Bell to impress that much to move on from Thornhill, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Shout out to DeAnthony Bell. You was talking about my jeans, though. I still ain't forgot about that. Wait till my layaway come back.
You know what, though?
I got all new clothes for the fall. Just because of you, DeAnthony. Where you at?
You know what, though?
Around with me.
This ties a little bit back into the G New thing. The thing about Jim Schwartz is that he want to have packages where he run those three safeties out there. So if G New does miss some and it's a heavy run thing, and they coming out on 11 personnel with 3 wide receivers, but it's a run style.
Yeah.
I think they'll be comfortable with putting a safety down at the nickel position just for that. Just for that one.
They have the bodies for it.
That's what I'm saying. So
next hot take, y'all ready?
Yeah.
This comes from Matty13 Ice. David Njoku has more reception yards and touchdowns than Travis Kelce in 2024. Njoku finished the season on fire. Will it continue into this season? What say you?
That is wild. That is I need that 4,500 from Watson, but the disbursement of the 4,500 is not going to be Kelce-ish. It's not
Kelce-ish.
It's not Kelce-ish. That's not going. If he get 1,000 yards, Njoku is going to be ecstatic. You do know they spoon feed Travis Kelce, right? He just runs around in circles, and then Patrick Mahomes just throws it to him. You do know that Kelce just it's in his contract. It's crazy. That's not more touchdowns and receptions. Nah, come on, man, stop.
You ain't hearing that, huh?
No.
If that happens, I'm gonna tell you right.
The Browns don't want to. Either everybody heard or we won the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna tell you right now, AB would be the best general manager in
ever
20 years.
It's crazy.
It's that's to be able to pull that. I'm nervous about that because he succeeded with Joe Flacco really a lot. And I don't know when, we didn't get to see Deshaun for that long, but I didn't think it was that. So I got to see. I got to see where they at. I got to see because they wasn't eye to eye when Deshaun was in there. So I got to see it first.
Yeah, I believe it with Amari. If you say, Amari Cooper about to jump off, I'm like, cool. If you say Jerry Jeudy about to just career year, all right, cool. He's supposed to progression. But if Njoku get more than Kelce.
I didn't see it.
I
didn't see it.
It wasn't in the crystal. It wasn't in the work for you, boy. I would love for you to have it. You done blessed the show. You done been on. I would love. But man. That's Kelce-ish, bro. That's crazy.
I hope so. Listen, if that happens, I would be
slow clap.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking. Because the crazy thing is, he's good enough to do it.
Can I play devil's advocate here? Yeah. I ain't saying this is going to happen, but I'm just...
Man. Man.
Listen.
He's making me nervous.
Listen. The Chiefs just drafted Xavier Worthy, right? Okay. And me and Mike was talking earlier this week.
Okay.
If you look at the front end of the Patrick Mahomes greatness, he had wide receivers that fit a certain prototype. Mm-hmm. They attacked offensively differently, right? That's one variable. The second variable is let's not act like Travis Kelce is still the same young pup he was 4 or 5 years ago. Eventually, like, his age is going to catch up to him. Eventually, the production is going to start going the opposite direction. Here it is. Njoku said the offense with Dorsey is juicy. So maybe Ken Dorsey got a lot.
I'm only going to let that go a couple more times and continue on.
I'm just saying, maybe Dorsey got a lot in store for Njoku. Now, it ain't a high chance that it'll happen, but because of what's going on in Kansas City, it wouldn't really surprise me if Njoku did it. Because in his defense, I know he didn't do it with Deshaun Watson, but if you look at the last 3 years, he's literally went up in receiving yards every single year. I think he's been about the same in touchdowns, but it's like he's gotten better no matter who the quarterback has been. So I can only think in my head a full season with Deshaun, maybe they'll get on the same page.
So this is my pushback to your pushback.
Okay.
Is that everything you said is valid, and having those speedy receivers with Kansas City is great. Don't you think that makes Kelsey's spot even better, because they're going to push the field vertically, which means he can just
all right, but
one-on-one.
peep this. All of us in this room.
And then lastly,
okay,
I just said with PJ, when you gotta have it, who did he look to? When they gotta have it in Kansas City,
PJ looked to Amari, and
when they gotta have it in Kansas City, who is Patty going to?
That's true, but here's some more pushback to that. All of us play fantasy football,
the only
right?
thing gonna mess him up is the Swifties.
So we kind of track player stats and what's going on from game to game a lot. There was a lot of games last year, if you go back and you just
Travis
watch.
didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing. And so I guess my pushback is, knowing that Mahomes is a dog, Kelsey is a dog, you've seen over the last 2 years, defensive coordinators scheme up to make sure, hey, don't let this dude beat me. If they beat me, it ain't going to be because Travis Kelsey went off. It'll have to be because of somebody else went off.
Well, they
got the Johns and the Joes to do that.
If we get cut off, it's going to be because McNuggets did it. McNuggets was number 5.
We got 2 more. Yeah, this next one comes from Watsontron at Ben Smitty, who says, Jerry Jeudy will be uncoverable and Deshaun Watson's shoulder will not get tired as he looks fantastic all training camp. Jerry Jeudy, uncoverable. What say you, Davis?
Get tired?
I mean, that's what I like to happen. I mean, if that happens, then that makes the future, easier. It makes decisions in the future much easier if that happens. That's what we want to happen. But listen, Jerry Jeudy has never been more motivated in this season to look uncoverable. I mean, you're going to actually have Amari Cooper out there who is literally uncoverable, which means that defense is going to plan for him rather than Jerry Jeudy. And then if Njoku doing his thing, that's another attention getter. So you actually got a chance to look uncoverable at certain points and times of this season. You should have your most productive season. They're going to literally force feed you the ball because they have to justify the contract. So it's going to be a lot of the times that you're going to be the forefront of the attention. You just got to make the most of it. So if he looks uncoverable, that means that everybody's right and he's doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing his whole career. I mean, he's got the talent to do it. When he came out in the draft, I remember I was like, yeah, that dude is probably going to be nice. I thought he was better than CeeDee Lamb. And it's nothing worse than seeing another receiver in your draft class have the seasons that he's having, is about to get the bag that he about to get, and you feel like you better than him. So he's motivated to have a really good season this year. So that would not shock me if that happened.
I think it's really even more simple than that, right? I think he has the opportunity to be uncoverable. They're just starting training camp. This is a stacked team, stacked roster. They're going to practice against each other every day. So iron sharpens iron. We already know the matchup on one side is Amari versus Denzel. So Jerry Jeudy is not going to get open at all during training camp or practices with Martin Emerson on him. That type of repetition is going to allow him to get open on everybody else during the regular season. You like how I did that?
I do like that.
You like how I did that?
Like that.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Listen, hey, I will say MJ Emerson, listen, he do got good.
He always get tired in this, doesn't he?
He does. It's
always get
almost
tired
like
in
Giannis,
this.
man. Almost like Giannis.
I ain't said nothing about Giannis since Giannis got hurt.
Ain't nothing to say.
I will say
Giannis teetering the greatness line for me.
Yo, MJ don't get hurt.
Jerry Jeudy, all the situation about him being uncoverable, I don't think he'll be uncoverable. I think he'll have a great. See, this is the thing. I keep saying this, and they just make fun of me because it's like, oh, G. Bush is just he's over here drinking the Kool-Aid again. I just see season time. I keep looking up at this, and every one of these comments that y'all give us on the hot takes, I seen Njoku having more yards than Kelsey. All of a sudden, Jerry Jeudy is uncoverable. If you matriculate that downstream, and at the end of the year, you have to say, well, if all of that is happening, them 4,500 or 5,000 yards look kind of probable, right? Amari Cooper, if he just has the year he has, that's what, 1,200. Y'all want to say Jerry Jeudy's in second year? Listen, look how many people that got career years, and this is just on a hot take. Don't take my word for it. Y'all telling me that Deshaun is going to have 4,500 to 5,000 just by the prognostication on how well people going to do next year. So
sound like a lot of people do believe in it.
A lot of people, y'all must believe it because Flaccavelli ain't coming back.
You know what I think? I think Myles Garrett going to win Defensive Player of the Year again.
Twice?
I don't.
I do.
Oh, they not giving him
They
that
ain't giving
twice.
it back. Yeah, they ain't giving it back to back.
Speaking of
Michael
winning,
Parsons getting that.
Speaking of winning, that brings us to our last hot take. Thank you for everyone who sent these in. This one comes from Trey Seeger, who says the Browns finally win the AFC North, and he's calling it with a Week 17 home win over Miami. Is that hot enough for you guys?
Man, that would be.
That I don't like. That's a nail biter.
Yeah,
I don't like the fact that it just got clinched to 17th, like the last game, because that means.
I like it because it'll be in Cleveland, which Miami is known not to do well in cold weather. So I like that aspect of it. But man,
that's tight.
The Browns win the AFC.
And look at 15, 16. Look at that. Look at that.
That mean that they game.
Look at that. Look at that schedule. Like you dealing with like the creme de la creme. Like this is like top shelf.
If the Browns win this division, they going to the Super Bowl. I don't care what nobody say.
Because they would be one of the most battle-tested teams with just the record, with the schedule that they got. They would have seen every good team in the NFL and know how to play them and beat them. Like if they beat these teams,
like
you should be good to go to the Super Bowl.
You ain't no lucking up into this.
No,
ain't no lucking up into like when you see them games right there, and this is why I always say that it's going to be a situation where at the end of the year you're going to find out what you got. Like when you talk about the quarterback, the coach, all that, because when you play them 4 games and you won the AFC North. Come on, you know what that.
I feel like we already know what we got though.
You earned that.
I feel like we already know what we got, man. Kevin Stefanski has been here. This is going into his 5th season, and we've seen Kevin Stefanski grow as a head coach. We've seen Kevin Stefanski literally overcome damn near every obstacle you can think of. He became the head coach during the COVID year, right? Brand new coach, brand new team, and you don't even get to meet with your players face to face. You had a one good year with Baker, then things flopped the next year, right? You make the trade for Deshaun Watson. You don't have Deshaun. You start Jacoby Brissett. Somehow, some way, Jacoby has the best season of his career, and the Browns are still a competent football team. You look at everything that took place last year, right? No team in NFL history has ever started 5 different quarterbacks and won games with those quarterbacks. And the point I guess I'm trying to make is this organization as a whole has shown they've been battle-tested for the last couple of years. Every piece of adversity that's been put in front of them, all they've done is just hurdled it. They just keep hurdling it.
I will say this. Battle-tested count, but that raising that trophy takes a lot.
It does.
And when you they got a division. If he want to battle, if I'm gonna raise his hand, he got to at least get to the AFC Championship game. I'll raise your hand then.
To me, I said like when Mike asked this question a couple weeks ago, what's considered a successful season? The Browns need to be playing in the AFC Championship game this year, hands down, no questions asked. I think this team is good enough. I think the time is just now. Everything I just said before makes the time right now. You're battle tested. You've been through the adversity. You got the cohesiveness. You got the team chemistry. You got everything you need. Like, barring major injury to a significant piece, there's no reason why this team shouldn't be in the AFC Championship game.
Well, you talk about everything you need. Let's switch the floor to the Guardians because they don't have everything they need, and they better get some reinforcements in a hot second. McNuggets.